We're talking with Lubor Ptacek, Vice President of Product Marketing at ServiceMax, a GE Digital company.
Hi, Ralph.
Hi. So, industrial IoT is a big topic here at the ARC Forum this week. At ServiceMax, can you tell me a little bit about the key applications for IoT?
Yeah, of course. I like the word applications because it's actually important to realize that a platform alone doesn't really solve any business problems, right? So you need to have an application to do that. And one of the first order applications when you look at industrial equipment is delivery of service. And almost all our customers want to move from the reactive service delivery to a proactive service delivery, right? So using service to kind of prevent any downtime of the equipment before that happens.
Very good. So in field service, we have technicians going to equipment in a whole bunch of different remote sites involving a lot of travel. And could you talk a little bit about how IoT improves field service?
Yeah. It's kind of an obvious connection if you think about it, right? You have a connected machine, and that machine can now provide data that can help delivering better service. In an ideal situation, that machine can actually call for help itself, right? So you can get a service request instead of from a call center from an unhappy customer, you get it from the machine. And ideally, you are getting it in advance of anything really bad happening so that you can be preventive in your service delivery.
Wow, very interesting. So I'm sure you're involved in, certainly ServiceMax is involved in a variety of industries. Could you help us gain a deeper understanding of that benefits and maybe point to a particular industry that's adopting it the most?
Yeah. The rule of thumb is that the smarter the machine today, the easier it is to adopt IoT and to go through this kind of transformation, right? So we see, some of our customers have equipment that has onboard computing power, and that tends to be usually very good at self-diagnostics and kind of analyzing itself and providing you really meaningful insights. And the alerts can really be a service request. So example might be some of the medical device manufacturing, right? We have a lot of customers in that space, and they seem to be ahead of the curve because they've been putting computers in that equipment for many, many years, right? But a lot of industrial sector is catching up really quick. Modern wind turbines are pretty smart machines as well. Aviation, of course, is very advanced. So there's a lot of other industries that have really smart equipment. But the smarter the equipment, the easier it is to do.
So I'm an end user with smart equipment in my factory or my wind turbine or in my hospital. Could you talk about the improved business outcomes that I may see as a result of having, engaged with ServiceMax and IoT and condition monitoring?
Yeah, we actually have some great data. So we do an annual customer survey, and we ask customers to quantify some of the results that are generating. And there are some expected outcomes, and there are some, I would say, kind of surprising outcomes, right? Expected would be the things that you would expect, right? Efficiency, productivity. Our customers report on average 18% increase in technician productivity, which is basically adding an entire day into their week without having to work the weekends, right? So that's pretty impressive. But some of the unexpected were things like net promoter score improvement in terms of customer experience, which tends to be a big topic these days, right? 11% jump in net promoter score. We've seen a significant reduction in safety incidents, in compliance incidents. So there's a number of really kind of interesting results. And last not least is the equipment uptime itself, right? So on average, we see something like 12% increase in equipment uptime as a result of using ServiceMax. So some pretty hard and compelling data.
Wow. So you mentioned two things there. One is improved performance of the technicians,
right.
18% in field service productivity. And then the other part of it was for the actual end user, higher uptime, which means the equipment's available and you can produce more product revenue and that kind of stuff. Very nice combination of benefits for both the field service provider and the end user. There's a lot of field service solutions out there. Could you talk a little bit about how ServiceMax and GE Digital is a little different?
Yeah. So, of course, we've been at this for quite a few years. We have hundreds of customers. So we have a solution that's been proven and tested in the industry. And there's just hardly any business process related to service delivery that we couldn't handle, right? So it's not just the scheduling and dispatch, which everybody does, but it's basically giving the technician a mobile application that works offline and provides everything they need to deliver the service. It's dealing with parts, inventories, with entitlements, with RMAs, so all those processes involved. But on top of that, we also have a tremendous team that can actually sit down with our customers and help them define where they are and what the desired outcomes are and how to get there, right? Because that's kind of the tricky bit of every digital transformation. It's, what is it that you should be getting to and how do you get there? And we have a lot of expertise and a lot of tools to help our customers with that.
Excellent, excellent. So, GE Digital bought ServiceMax. You remind me how long ago?
About a year ago. Yeah.
About a year ago. And a year is enough time for some changes to have occurred. They get to know you better, you get to know them better. Can you talk a little bit about how ServiceMax has changed in the past year?
Yeah, it's been quite an exciting year. Going through the acquisition and now a year with GE Digital. On one hand, we were able to remain a very focused, kind of autonomous group inside of GE Digital, which means that we were able to keep our focus on field service, on our customers, and keep some of the agility that you would expect from a small organization. At the same time, we are part of a huge company with a lot of resources, and we've seen a tremendous boost in terms of awareness, in terms of business coming to us. And one of the things that are exciting for me is that GE has really opened up doors to a lot of new sectors that previously we were not necessarily very active in, oil and gas, power and utilities, aviation, right? Those are a lot of newer industries, whereas our traditional customer base was industrial manufacturing, medical device equipment, building and construction equipment, those kind of industries. So we're kind of able to do it both, and that's really exciting.
Well, thank you very much for this discussion and interview. Very interesting.
Thank you for having me, Ralph.
We've been talking with Lubor Ptacek of GE Digital, the ServiceMax Group. Thank you for listening.